Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. We're waking up to more green. Seems to be the norm here. We're up on SPY. QQQ is trying a minor gap up right now, about 19 cents. We'll see if this gap up maintains. If it holds, this is the third gap up in a row, which we could see a potential bear exhaustion play. We'll talk about that. Hey, Shake and Bake. Hey, Tess. Yeah, hit that like button. I'm happy to be here too, Shake. It's a great day. All right, so what do we have? I'll take chart request. And just let me know if the audio visual is okay. I was looking up SMCI earlier. Short float 21%. Yeah, short float has been building here. And they got news yesterday and they are up big this morning. So we'll talk about SMCI. What is big, you say? Up 17% this morning, and they were up 16% yesterday. So SMCI is definitely on back burner watch. We've cleared this $44.99. Next resistance is $50 psychological. Just listening. Hey, Success. Deft, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for letting me know you're here. That's always nice. All right, Deft. Never heard of this one. Volume is good. I don't know if it was something else before. It looks like it was. So I don't know if we take into consideration this prior price action or treat it like a blue sky breakout. We had a daily inside bar yesterday after a large range on Monday. $461 is your resistance. 438 is your resistance, and after hours it is 459 and 461. Support 418. I don't know what's going on here. This is funky. Plenty of room for a daily higher low. Daily is overbought. You could look for an hourly back burner on this one again. I don't know what happened here. I'll have to look into this one. Nice gap up. You're going to want to hold 438, yesterday's high, as support for gap rules. As long as we maintain 438 support, bulls are in control, and it is a long signal. NASDAQ uplisted. Thank you, taxi driver. Yeah, lots of double-digit pre-market gainers. I get a lot of messages and comments about how do you join a market like this when a name that you wanted to buy is already running up high. Well, the most conservative way to join it is with a back burner. So NVIDIA, for example, you would want to wait for a 5-minute back burner during regular trading hours to join it. Okay, this is the third gap up. Do you want to be buying on a third gap up? That is not the ideal area to buy gap ups. Your more conservative way is back burner or waiting for EMA touches. For example, the 4-hour 12 EMA is around 127. If you want to wait for a 4-hour 12 EMA touch, that would be a decent area for risk to reward for a long. So I guess I could type this out. We're not officially starting yet, but how to join runaway train. I think runaway is one word, but anyway. Your most conservative way is waiting for back burners, waiting for oversold conditions. Your second way is waiting for a 4-hour 12 EMA touch. Your third is waiting this is aggressive. (15-minute) EMA 12. Can't type this morning. 12 EMA touch. This is why I get on early, for the brain and mouth and fingers to all match up. And another trigger could be wait for tightening ranges. Wait for equilibriums. Wait for tightening ranges. And bottom fish a higher low. So those are ways to join a runaway train. Oh, please don't send my response to the group. Shorting crypto, you need a technical reason. Just because something is moving higher is not a reason to short it. And right now we have a potential 2-day bull flag on Bitcoin. This looks beautiful. There's no technical reason to short it right now. If you lose support of 100,700, then you could be looking for a potential short, in my opinion. That's the key level now, the low after the big move up. Ethereum has had a beautiful move. Here's a problem on Ethereum. The daily 200 MA is overhead. I know that's a boomer indicator. A lot of people don't, some people don't use it. Institutions use it. Daily 200 MA overhead, that could become problematic for Ethereum. And we just got bearish RSI divergence. RSI made a lower high while price made a higher high. So this has been a beautiful move on Ethereum. I think you could keep it on back burner watch. However, if you're looking for an aggressive short in crypto, I think Ethereum risk to reward is there with RSI bearish divergence on the 4-hour and daily 200 MA overhead. Y'all ready to get this show on the road? Let's do it. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on X, I cannot get over 5,500 followers. So give me a follow on X. If you could hit that like button, that'd be great. On Wednesdays, I go over the economic calendar, which today we have Fed speak and oil inventory. I go over this market environment dossier table. This is a table that I created just as an objective way to communicate to you, or a more objective way of all the correlations that I think are important, what I'm looking at, and things are looking more bullish than bearish. DAX is currently red. I have to go check that again. I did this an hour ago. Microsoft is below the hourly EMA, XLE, and XLV. They're still weak. That's not getting us over 100 points here in this column. So that's something that stands out. So let's go look at the indices. So we got over the daily 200 MA on ES. That's pretty important. We got over the weekly resistance. So we are looking for a weekly higher low. And I should mention that the put call ratio, this is a ratio that measures the amount of puts to calls, is at the lowest it has been in 4 years. There's a lot of complacency that hit the market quickly. So I think this is something that we need to be aware of. It's nothing for you to act on. However, if we were to pull back, it could catch a lot of people unprotected. There's a lot of unprotected positions out there with the put call ratio so low. So we are not overbought yet on the daily. On the 4-hour, this could be a bull flag. Hourly, we got a little lower low, straight to a higher high. Let's make a simple statement. As long as the 4-hour 12 EMA is supporting price, bulls are in control. Look at this little air pocket between price and the 12 EMA. That just shows the velocity or the strength and momentum of the bulls. They're not even leaning on the 4-hour 12 EMA. Bulls are in control. Bulls, this is a bullish market. We have changed the trend. So now bears are disadvantaged. If you want to be a bear in this market, you have to have a clear level where you know you're wrong. NQ, we've gotten over the prior day high. Your next resistance is up at 21,500, then 21,593. We are overbought on the daily now on NASDAQ. So we're looking for a potential monthly lower high. Daily overbought. 4 hour, look at this air pocket between price and the 12 EMA. That just shows the velocity and the power of this move. RTY has a 4 hour equilibrium. We have a daily inside bar yesterday, and we're opening up inside that range. This could be a daily bull flag. If you wanted to view this as a laggard to NQ and ES, I wouldn't blame you. This could be a laggard play looking for a long in the Russell. Dow, we have a potential daily bull flag on the Dow. It is still below the 200 MA. Notice that, and so is the Russell. The Russell's still below the daily 200 MA. So the Dow, we have a potential daily bull flag. We're bouncing from the 4 hour 12 EMA. Would you look at that? So Dow could be a laggard long. It's green. I guess it's not a laggard in the way that we normally think of laggards. It just hasn't had as big of a move as NASDAQ. SMH is a beast. We have a weekly higher high. Daily's overbought. We're gapping up. So this is the third gap up on SMH. On the third gap up, we look for potential bear exhaustion plays. And as Dan was pointing out to someone who asked about this, you want to see a new high of day within the first 5 minutes. And ideally, you could hold this 24888 resistance, then pull back and look for a lower high. So we could watch 24888 on semis and see if that holds for a potential top fish. This goes against what I've been saying about this is a bullish market. However, if you know exactly where you're wrong and your risk to reward is good, then I think that play makes sense. An SMH top fish could make sense this morning. VIX is dumping, as you can imagine. We're holding support here of 1809. Potential daily bear flag. We are in an hourly uptrend right now on VIX, so 1809 is key support. I like to set alerts. VIX helps me a lot with my trading of the indices. Hang Seng was green overnight. I'll try to get to Chewy Josh. Hey Jill. Hey Walter. DP. All right, so I'll try to get to Chewy. I will get to Chewy. How about that? Hang Seng's green overnight. DAX is currently red. Bitcoin is red. Let me show you this little pattern on Bitcoin. This isn't ideal because we just broke the neckline. It could be forming an hourly inverse head and shoulders. We have a potential 2-day bull flag on Bitcoin. 4 hour 12 EMA is holding right now. We lost it 2 days ago, but we've regained it. Your key support for the day is 102.878. I'll go set an alert, 102.900. Let me know right before it breaks. So right now we have a 4 hour squeeze on Bitcoin, and we're holding the 4 hour 12 EMA in a potential 2-day bull flag. Ethereum, like I mentioned, is in a precarious situation. Daily 200 MA is overhead. We have a double top here on the daily and 4 hour bearish RSI divergence. Price made a higher high while RSI made a lower high. Ethereum is where I'd be looking for a short. It's definitely had a huge move. It's a high probability of getting stopped out, but decent risk to reward. Hourly downtrend. Hey, Diego. Dollar, hourly downtrend. 4 hour downtrend on a bounce. You'll be looking for a 4 hour lower high. Notice this. Okay, gold just broke support. Gold just broke support. So dollar is weak. And gold is even weaker. So gold is not taking advantage of this dollar weakness. And we just broke this daily bear flag on gold, bearish. We lost this 3209 support. 3167 is the daily 50 MA. So we lost weekly support. The question is, are we forming a monthly bull flag? If this weekly bear break doesn't get a lot of follow through, then I would be looking long on gold, and I would be looking long on gold about at the daily 50 MA area, 3167. I'm going to set an alert for 3170 area. If we could get a 15-minute trend change in that 3170 area, I would like gold long, looking for a weekly small bear break without a lot of follow through. We'll see if this works. Right now we're in a 4-hour downtrend, and I'm looking for that monthly higher low, but there's no need to rush that play. Oil, potential hourly bear flag. We have inventory at 10:30 Eastern, I believe, 10:30 Eastern. We have the daily 50 MA overhead. We did not get over daily resistance of 63.92. So we're looking for a potential daily low or high with the daily 50 MA overhead. 4-hour had bearish RSI divergence, kind of like Ethereum. We're holding the 4-hour 12 EMA on oil. I like oil bearish as long as we hold 63.65 resistance. Looking for that daily low or high with the daily 50 MA overhead. Nat gas has the hourly 12 EMA overhead, 4-hour downtrend. Daily, we're looking for a potential higher low compared to 3423. We have inventory tomorrow on nat gas. We have PPI tomorrow too, by the way, in addition to jobless claims. 4 hours not oversold. Hourly got oversold, looking for the daily higher low. Let's see if bulls can get a 15-minute trend change on nat gas and possibly put in that daily higher low as step one. Meta, gap up is getting a little bit pushed in right here. We're approaching the 66092. Meta, Nvidia, and Tesla are attempting their third gap up in a row. Looks like Nvidia and Tesla will hold it. Meta could lose it here. So Meta is a beautiful chart. On these three names, you could be looking for back burners. Meta, Nvidia, and Tesla, you could be looking for back burners. These are the third gap up. So we are looking for some bear exhaustion, but they got to show it to you first. You can't just assume that it's there. They have to show it to you. If Meta bears are able to break the high of yesterday, 66092, and re-enter yesterday's range, that would be step one for demonstrating that healthy consolidation is underway. Nvidia, don't forget these pre-market levels, 134.25 and then 135 is your next resistance on Nvidia. We'll see how this plays out. I will be taking the members live and we may be able to get a trade out of this. Tesla's gapping up. Your next resistance is 350 psychological. And you have a pre-market resistance of 34493. Go mark off those pre-market resistances. So on these gap ups, if you're looking for a top fish, you have them marked. Hola, Kelamine. Hey, Crazy Mort. Awesome. So Tesla, back burner, on watch. Apple has a wonky 4-hour cup and handle here. This isn't the normal way we see a cup and handle. I just want to point it out on the daily. We got to get over 214.28 and we're opening red. Lots of names are green and are gapping up, and Apple is opening red. 212.80 is your pre-market after hours resistance, then 213.40. Amazon, we're opening inside yesterday's range. We're opening flat. We're looking for a daily higher low on Amazon. Microsoft has had a beautiful move. We're close to all-time highs. Pretty close. 10, 5, 2, 4% away, 5% away. So we're looking for a weekly higher low on a pullback. We're looking for a daily higher low. This 4 hour is grinding this 12 EMA. I am bullish Microsoft as long as it holds the 4 hour 12 EMA. On the hourly, we're showing some weakness here. We're below the 12 EMA. An aggressive bear could look for a lower high compared to yesterday's high, 450.67 on Microsoft. Queen of the Mountain trades I like, Cigna. Cigna's getting beat down with United Healthcare fundamentals. Now, take note of this. This lower level here, I'm not considering a pivot. So I'm still looking for a weekly higher low on Cigna. All right, looking for a weekly higher low. Daily is oversold. Looking for a weekly higher low. I like a long against 301.27 or 300 psychological on Cigna. It's getting punished because of UNH. So healthcare has been weak. If healthcare wants to remain weak, this trade won't work. RH. So Restoration Hardware is moving up with its tariffs, 90-day pause, whatever. We have a daily inside bar. We are back to the level, well, I guess this was on earnings, but the tariff news was hitting Restoration Hardware hard. So I was looking at Wayfair. Wayfair is gapping down. And Restoration Hardware is not. As a daily inside bar. I think this makes it clear. You could take a bear break. I like a short on Restoration Hardware. Looking for a weekly lower high with 4 hour overbought. And you know exactly where you're wrong. So I like a bear break of Restoration Hardware 22442. RKLB. We have a weekly squeeze, looking for a weekly higher low, daily squeeze. This is the one time frame I don't like. I'm moving this one off. I just don't like this. We're looking for a daily lower high. I'm moving this one off. SMCI has a huge short float. I like this one for a back burner. I really like this one for a back burner. If you want to join the trend at the 5-minute 12 EMA, and then put your stop below the last 5-minute higher low, that could work. That's an aggressive approach. UNH, new CEO, they suspended their 2025 outlook. You have 320 is your pre-market resistance. I like UNH long if we can get over that level. It is severely beat up. We're not oversold on the monthly yet. Weekly RSI is 28. Daily RSI 15. This name got beat up when the CEO got killed, and then it's just been getting beat up even more so, down 50%. So we'll see if this one can get a dead cat bounce going. High risk, because we do have fundamental factors and RSI is not as important. Chewy. Super stack days. That's right, super stack indicators. Okay, so Chewy. We are not at all-time highs. We got over weekly resistance. It has earnings in June. Daily uptrend. 4 hour equilibrium. 39.16 key support. Resistance is 40.38. We did get over weekly resistance. If you wanted to treat this like a double top, 40.38 and 40.09, I would get it. This could be forming a cup and handle. This sure is a nice rounded bottom, and now we have that double top. You could keep this one on back burner. No, not standard back burner. It's just been a churn northerly. If you're in long, I'd stay in long as the 4-hour 12 EMA is below you. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button. We have a big sale going on next week. Stay tuned for that. Give me a follow on X at CharkOwl Lori and use stop losses.